I'm gonna name a few of the things that you do. So, founder of nonprofit Technovation, advocate for STEM education, and took part in several summits for learning at the United Nations. So, my first question for you is, how did your passion came about? And please, if I missed anything in your small description, please feel free to add whatever you want.
Oh, thank you for having me. And yeah, I think it's been a long journey. We're going to celebrate 15 years this year. And of course, the world is such a different place from when I started. We were first called Iridescent, and I've been trained as an aerospace engineer. And when I came to the US to do my master's, and then I was in a graduate program, it was just very, very interesting to see that even in a developed country like the US, there was a certain sort of almost like an attitude barrier for girls, where they don't think that certain fields are for them. And as it was just very interesting to me, because in India, engineering, computer science are very powerful careers for everybody, regardless of gender. The gender inequality is very high in India, but in terms of which career paths you choose, at least there wasn't that same type of ceiling in attitude. So that was very intriguing to me. And I decided in my sort of in my final years of my PhD program that I actually did not want to go further into aerospace engineering. At that time, the aerospace startup industry wasn't as vibrant as it is now, and I didn't want to work in a big corporation. And so I really wanted to connect scientists and engineers with underrepresented groups, because the human connection is incredibly inspiring and powerful. And I wanted to do something at large scale and to embed technology at every level of the program. And so, but the core pillars of our approach were really based in humans. And so parents are our number one sort of ally, as well as mentors and scientists. And so roughly 4 or 5 years into sort of experimenting, doing a lot of programs, a friend of mine, Anu, she came to me. She was a physicist. She had just joined sort of the startup industry in Silicon Valley, and she had attended a weekend called Startup Weekend. And she said that it was such an exciting experience for her, and she wished that when she was in high school, she could have had that experience, because it would have shaped a lot of her decisions. And so she's like, she wanted to try it out. And I was like, of course, I would support you, but make sure that mentorship is a very key component of this program. And so that was the first test run of Technovation, and that was in 2010. And it was incredibly successful, and in terms of the depth of learning. And so she then decided to go back into the tech world, and I decided that we would continue to run that program. Mm-hmm. And over time, we've been testing out different depths of program implementations: 1 hour, 10 hours, 15 hours, 20 hours, 60 hours, 100 hours. And the realization is that, of course, when you put in the time, the impact is much larger. But the element of solving a problem in your community with technology is life-changing. And so we decided to simplify our program offerings, and we called our organization Technovation. And here we are, 15 years into the endeavor, and COVID has, of course, been
on your 15 years.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, it's been not easy, and I think last year was incredibly hard. And I mean, entrepreneurs are the same, whether you're in a nonprofit sector or for profit, and it's hard.